Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Dyson 360 Vis Nav robot vacuum cleaner. What I want to do today, first of all get it unboxed, get it set up, go through some of the features and benefits that it offers, and also give you a couple of demonstrations as well. Because I do feel that when you're spending this kind of money, you want to see how good it is actually in action, in a real life situation, compared to some of the product videos that Dyson may make themselves. First thing I need to do is to get it unboxed. Now, to be honest, there's not a huge amount in here. I suppose compared to some other robot vacuum cleaners that I've talked about on my YouTube channel, there doesn't seem a huge amount in here, which I suppose can only be a good thing. I'm not sure you need too much. But this is the dock where it will go into. And here we are. This is the vacuum itself. So there we go. So this is the 360 Vis Nav, as it just says on top there, 360 vision. Do you know what? I really like the colour of this. I know Dyson have made quite a few different products over the years and different colours and all different colour schemes, but I really like what they've done with this, and it does feel quality. It's actually pretty heavy. I know weight of it is not too important. I suppose it's not kind of thing you're going to be moving around a lot because it is a robotic vacuum. The only other thing we've got in here is the mains lead. So what I'm going to do, and this is the first thing it's saying, so just on the top here it's saying My Dyson app. You've got a QR code to scan, or you can go onto Google Play or onto the App Store to download the app. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get this all the packaging put to one side. I'm going to get this plugged in and I'm going to start downloading the app to see what this offers. Just before I plug the dock in, I'll just show you around the back. So you've actually got some cable management around here, which is actually a really good idea, because what you don't want, I suppose with any robot vacuum cleaner, you don't want cables lying around the room where the vacuum is going to be doing its job. So what Dyson have done is they've really thought about this, and they put some cable management in, so that when you plug this in, like so, and then what you can do, when you place it on the floor, then you want to try and get this cable as short as possible. So all you need to do is, say, wrap it around there, and then once you've finished that, so depending on where it's going to go, because where I'm going to put it, I'll show you in a minute, it's actually pretty close. So in theory I could even have it shorter than that. So I can have it probably like that, just so the cable is lovely and neat at the back there. And then you get a plate on the back, so that just sits on the back like so. So it just keeps it lovely and short, and if anything I might be able to get a little bit shorter, but I'm just going to leave a little bit of slack there. So that's a really good idea, so well done Dyson. And that plate on the back has concealed the cable, just keeps everything in place. I've got the charging dock plugged in, that's ready to go. So what I need to do now is to get the My Dyson app downloaded and then get the robot vacuum set up and all linked. Now I have already downloaded the app. I just scan the QR code, it's just nice and easy, takes you straight there to the app, get it downloaded, and this is what it will bring to you. So all you need to do is to select the type of vacuum that you want to add. So next we select the robot, and there's a choice of three. So it's the 360 Vis Nav, 360 Curys, and the Dyson 360i. Dyson have made different robot vacuums over the years. We've never really had access to some of the earlier models, and I think there was varying success with these two, but I suppose this is the latest venture that Dyson are trying into the robot vacuum market. So we'll click that. So remove and replace your robot on its dock. So once correctly positioned, we'll get your robot ready to connect. So I'm just going to pop it down on the dock. Okay, so now we just say got it, and it's searching for available machines. This can take a moment sometimes. There we are, it's found it. So it says Dyson 360 Vis Nav, and it's even come up with the serial number of the product as well, so I know that that is accurate. Okay, so hopefully you can see on the top here, I've just pressed the button on the top, so the screen is actually the on and off button, which I think is actually a brilliant idea. So it's just saying that everything's set up, that's all enabled, and what you can do is you can actually name it if you want to. so you could change the name, but I'm just going to leave it as Dyson 360 Vis Nav, and then just confirm. What you can do is you can actually enable the guarantee on this. So if you wanted to register the guarantee, then you've got the option to do that, and just pop the date in there. So what it's saying now is that it can actually create a map of your room. This is something I'm actually going to do it, but I'm going to do it in a small section of the showroom here. I'm not going to do the whole showroom because that will take ages. But it's something I would highly recommend because, as I say, I've reviewed quite a few robot vacuum cleaners over the last, say, 2 or 3 years, and it's something that's quite a standard feature, especially on a lot of the higher end ones. And what it will do is it will actually create a map of the room, and what you can do is you can actually zone out certain areas as well. So what I'm going to do is I've gone onto the app and mapping. So what we need to do is we need to create our first map. So I'm just going to start that. So create what is mapping, and it will just go through different options with you. So everything is plugged in, it's all ready to go. So I'm going to continue. Yeah, so it's just saying up there. It could take between 1 and 2 hours to do it, and I'm not going to, as I say, I'm not going to do the whole showroom, but I'm just going to start mapping, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long. I'd estimate probably about 5 or 10 minutes, but let's see how it gets on. So it's just finishing off the process. Not sure if you can see it because it gets a little bit of glare on the top there, but it's just saying returning to dock. Now it's completed that, and it probably took, it's probably only about 5 minutes actually. And as you can see, it just relocates at the front, and all it needs to do is to enable, so as long as they're connected, that's it. So that's relocated onto the dock, and in theory what it will do now is it will carry on charging. Just before I give you a demonstration of the vacuum, what I want to do is to show you some of the features that the vacuum actually offers before it starts to get dirty. So the first thing is to show you the bin, and with this all you need to do is press the button on the top, and then the bin comes off like that. So on this one it's actually a 0.5 litre capacity, which I'll be honest, for any cordless vacuum is actually pretty good. There are quite a few other Dyson products that are around the same or slightly less capacity than this, so I'm really impressed that Dyson have managed to get that kind of capacity within a robot vacuum. If you are comparing different robotic vacuums, then compare the bin capacity, because on a lot of them it's a fraction of that, so well done Dyson yet again. When it comes to emptying the bin, because on this model you do have to empty it manually, then what you need to do is first of all take the bin off like that. You've got a cheeky little handle on the top there if you want to go and carry it to your bin. But what I really love about this is you've got a button on the top here, and all you need to do is if you slide the button, then it will open up like that. Now I'm going to show you that again because I think that's absolutely fantastic. It slid down and then at the bottom the lid opened. So obviously you need to do this over a bin. So you don't want rubbish coming back out on the floor, because you need to send the vacuum out to do its job again. But I'll just slide that, and absolutely brilliant. Love that. When it comes to cleaning this, so it's nice and easy to keep clean. I suppose at the top here, this mesh filter, all you need to do is just get a brush and to brush it around here. And at the bottom here, all you need to do is just get a damp microfiber cloth. What I will be doing is I'm not going to spend too much time showing you how to clean and maintain it, because I'm going to do a separate video on this. If I've already done it, then it's in the link below. If it's not there yet, I've not made the video. There we go. So all you need to do is just push that in, and then that just clips on there, and then to locate it, that just goes back onto the back of the vacuum there. On top here you've got a filter, and that just pulls out easily. Again, this is all washable, but what I'll do is I'll rather concentrate on that at the moment. I'll put all this in a separate video on how to take it apart, clean it and maintain it. But again, it's always good to know that these filters are washable. Dyson claim it's a lifetime filter, so I suppose over time it will start to reduce if you keep the vacuum for several years, but it may need to be replaced. But at the moment Dyson are claiming it's a lifetime filter. And then to put it back in, what you need to do is just press that. Underneath you've got the brush bar. So this is quite a standard looking brush bar. Again, I'm really pleased that Dyson have used this kind of brush bar, because I know that on a lot of their upright cordless vacuums that this kind of brush bar works really well. It's using the fluffy head, and also it's got different bristles on here, and it's got some really stiff red bristles as well, so that can really help to get any dirt or muck up. To take it apart, again, I'll show you in a separate video. I did mention about the weight earlier, and for some people it might be a consideration, because at 5 kilograms this is actually pretty heavy. For a lot of people, if all you're doing is, if you've got, say, a big apartment or flat, then I suppose the weight of it might not be a consideration. But if you do need to take it upstairs to do upstairs and then bring it back down, then the weight at 5 kilograms may be something to consider. I think for the majority of people it shouldn't be an issue. And with this model you do actually get up to 65-minute run time, and it will take around 2 3/4 hours to charge. I suppose if it's completely flat then it will take that. But majority of the time, if it's come out and vacuumed for, say, half an hour, then obviously it's not going to take as long to charge up. I think we're ready to have a couple of demonstrations. What I've done is I've just logged back onto the My Dyson app, and as you can see, this is a map of the area of the showroom that I've selected, and it's just saying to confirm the map. And what I can do is you can actually divide it into certain zones, and I suppose this could be really good. If you had, say, a large apartment or flat, and if you wanted to apportion it into different sections, so for example if you had a breakfast area or a living area, then what you might want to do is to set up different schedules for certain parts of your apartment or flat. Now there's so much you can do with this. You've got things like Alexa, you've got Google Assistant that you can enable it as well. So if you just wanted to talk to it and get it to go and vacuum, you've got all that. I'm not going to concentrate on that, but I think the actual dividing the area into zones is actually something that could be a good idea. So I just mentioned about scheduling, and that's done through this button here. If you press the little clock symbol, then what you can actually do is you could set a schedule to come on, so that, I suppose for the majority of people, ideally you don't want the vacuum to be operating when you're there. So if you're going out at work, for example at 7 in the morning, then you could have it come on any time during the day, for example 8 o'clock, and even if it took, say, a couple of hours to go and vacuum, then that could be ideal, because it just means that every day you could set it to that time, and that when you come back from work everywhere's nice and clean. So all I've done at the moment is I've put some breakfast cereal on the floor. Now I've purposely crushed some of it up, so some of it's smaller and some of it are larger particles. Something to comment on is that this floor, the carpet we got here, is actually really difficult on some vacuums. Some of the cordless vacuums especially have really struggled over the years that I've been running my YouTube channel, because it's quite a wiry carpet and it can tend to, I suppose, grip anything that's in there. Sounds a little bit odd. So it'll be quite a challenge for the Dyson, but I think what we need to do is to get the vacuum going and see how well it performs. So now that it's finished, what it's saying is it's actually going back to the start. I must say, I'm actually really impressed with how clean it is. If I just zoom in there, so that's the area. There's still one or two little bits, but overall I'm actually really impressed, because as I mentioned earlier, the carpet we've got here is pretty wiry, so sometimes it can struggle to get any of the bits up. Now for this next demonstration, I'm just going to put some porridge oats on the floor. I'll give a bit more of a challenge. So just show you on the app, so you've got different options. So first of all, we've got auto, so that's intelligently adapts to dust levels, optimizing suction with a full battery. Robot will clean for up to 50 minutes depending on the dust levels. Quick, and that's what I did the first demonstration on. So with a full battery, you clean up to 60 minutes. Quiet, so I suppose if you were at home and if you wanted to vacuum with the robot in the vacuum, with the robot in the background, I should say, put my teeth back in, then that could be a good option. Or also if you wanted to vacuum at night, then that's a good option. And again, you can vacuum for up to 65 minutes, or boost. Oh, let's just get that back. All areas, boost. So with that one, that's going to get up to 12 minutes of vacuuming, so it's going to be on a higher suction. So that's maximum suction for a more intensive cleaning. So it's just decided to do a software update, which took around 10 minutes, so it's not an issue. That should keep us going for a while. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the boost selection, because I want to see how well it can perform to get all of these porridge oats up. So here we go. So now that it's finished the process, it took probably around 10 minutes, I'd say, to do that. I'll just zoom in. They just leave a small amount of debris on the floor, but overall, compared to what was on there, I'm actually really impressed. Now I've done a couple of demonstrations. If I wanted to go and empty the bin, just press the button on top, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of dirt and breakfast cereal in there, between the porridge oats and the breakfast cereal that I used first of all. And again, all I need to do is just go and lift the handle, slide the switch, and then empty the bin. So nice and easy. Something else that you can do through the app is to actually see how much you've used the vacuum. So it can actually show you the number of meters squared that it's vacuumed, also the time. So there's a huge amount through the app. But all I want to do was just to give you a brief overview as to what the vacuum can do with some of the features. If you're thinking of purchasing one of these, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Dyson 360 Vis Nav robot vacuum cleaner. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe and leave any comments below. Now I know on this kind of product there's a huge number of demonstrations I could have done, but I just want to give you a couple of demos just to give you a rough idea as to how well it performs. And overall I'm actually really impressed, because the carpet down here is looking pretty clean. I don't feel I need to go over it with another cordless vacuum, which is always really good. But I do always say, if you've got any questions on it, then I've got this on display at the moment. So again, if you've got any questions, pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, if you got this model, the 360 Vis Nav, or even one of the earlier Dyson robot vacuums, then let me know what you think about it and just be honest, because I'd always appreciate the honest feedback. Thanks for joining me today.